Right then, I am of course very Phil after Oleksandr Usyk got his unanimous decision win over Tyson Fury in the rematch. But now we're here to review the whole card of Usyk versus Fury 2. Let's get right into it, starting with the first fight, Muhammad Akel versus Joshua Ocampo. Good performance here from Muhammad Akel. Saudi are really trying to build him up, and rightly so. He's got some good speed, he's got good footwork, got good ring IQ, knows his way around the ring nicely. He's got a good jab, sets his shots up, and he's got some good speeds in his hands. Good in and out of there, to be fair. I think he's a good, clever boxer. Counts as a good. Got a good unanimous. Got a good decision win today, and good solid stuff from Muhammad Akel. Saudi are really going to start to build him up. He's probably going to be on the next card as well. They might stick him on the Feb card. It would not surprise me on the prelims. They really want to try and build him up, and rightly so. He's a good, solid talent, Muhammad Akel is. So, there we go. Good win for him. And then next up, of course, we move to the heavyweights. Andrei Nowitzki versus Edgar Ramirez. Good performance here from Nowitzki. Good behind the jab, was able to outwork Ramirez during this fight, to be honest. I expected him to get a knockout, Nowitzki, but I feel like he worked well, got some good valuable rounds in, targeting the body nicely, good behind his lead hand, Nowitzki was. He's an interesting one. He's got good boxing IQ. And I feel like he picked his shots nicely, put some decent shots together well, mix it up from head to body nicely, Nowitzki did. So, I thought it was a good performance from Nowitzki. Went the distance. I mean, as I said, you ideally wanted to see a stoppage, but it is what it is. He got the job done. There we go. On to the next one for Nowitzki. Next up, we got Daniel Lapin versus Dylan Collin. Daniel Lapin wins a unanimous decision. A good performance from Daniel Lapin, and this was probably his toughest fight yet. A step up from his last opponent, and Daniel Lapin won every round, passed the test with every color, with flying colors. He was good behind the jab, very smart with what he was doing. He's very good at managing his range, and that's what you get when you work with Usyk. You're very good at range management. He's very good at distance control, and Daniel Lapin can keep his distance very nice. Good behind his jab. Daniel Lapin's good at being able to pick you off at range, and he does move around the ring nicely as well. Doesn't just stand there. He does create angles well. Lapin does. He's only going to keep on getting better and better. He's got like 4 knockout wins in a row, early doors as well before this fight. So I feel like it was very good to get 10 valuable rounds in for Daniel Lapin. So I feel like he would have been happy with that. He looked like he was taking his time with his work. That's what he had to do. So good performance there from Daniel Lapin. Next up, we got Peter McGrail versus Reese Edwards. This was a good fight. I thought Peter McGrail was very good early on, but Reese Edwards came back into the fight as it was going. So this one was interesting. I mean, there's mixed opinions on it, but I do think Peter McGrail edged the fight. In my opinion, I thought he did enough in those early to mid rounds, but Reese Edwards was catching Peter McGrail off guard with some big shots late on. And you just think if he was in there with Dennis McCann, Peter McGrail, it wouldn't have really ended well for McGrail whatsoever. But he was taking a lot of shots on the chin today. But again, Reese Edwards is a very tough operator. I thought early on, it was very clear to see Peter McGrail's footwork was very fresh. It was very good. His angles were good. He was pivoting off nicely after some of his work. But he was landing some good quick combos, Peter McGrail. But Reese Edwards was able to take McGrail's shots well and was able to weather a good early storm and come back into it late, but just didn't do enough. Because Peter McGrail, you never know, could have he probably did nick the odd late round in there as well, though, because of some of the work he was doing. But, there were close rounds in there, but I thought Peter McGrail did it. Reese Edwards was good at being able to set up his big shots with his backhand, and Peter McGrail's head was there to be hit from. So Reese Edwards did well on short notice. I mean, you never know. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd won a rematch. If he had a longer camp, you never know. He could have done better there. But again, if Peter McGrail had a longer camp adjusting to Edwards, it could have been better for Peter McGrail. But Peter McGrail got the win, moves on with his career now. And that was expected. To be fair, from Peter McGrail. But to be fair, Reese Edwards did better than I thought. But, Reese Edwards was put in there, good stepping opponents as well for Peter McGrail to beat. And that's what Peter McGrail did. and he was also tested nicely at the same time and taken to deep waters. And that's a fight that Peter McGraw needs to be in to be able to progress. So that's a good fight for McGraw and a good important win, which he nicked in the end. So yeah, there we go. Good win for McGraw. Next up, we got Isaac Clowe versus Lee McGregor. Yeah, Lee McGregor wins a unanimous decision. It was very messy late on. It was a very messy fight as the fight was going. I thought Lee McGregor was doing decent behind the jab early on and following in with that backhand. I thought there were quite a few single shots being thrown from Lee McGregor. Isaac Clowe was kind of coming forward and, throwing good, decent combinations. But I thought Lee McGregor was good behind the lead hand and was setting up his backhand nicely. But there were just too many single shots being thrown from Lee McGregor. So it wasn't really an impressive performance at all from him. But Isaac Clowe at times was making things dirty, but there was also a lot of clinches going on from Lee McGregor in the fight. But, it was messy. It was fairly entertaining in the end, though, to be completely honest. But, yeah, we got the right winner in Lee McGregor. But I was expecting it to be a better fight than what it was. But, Isaac Clowe came forward nicely and was landing some decent shots when he was coming forward. And planted his feet fairly well when he was throwing. But a lot of the time as well, McGregor was able to make him walk into the straight jab quite a few times as well. So that was good from Lee McGregor. He was able to make Isaac Clowe walk into his straight jab, which was good from McGregor. Then at some times as well, he'd come in with a good straight backhand, and that would land right on the chin of Isaac Clowe. But Isaac Clowe was taking shots nicely, though. So, yeah, Lee McGregor won, but it wasn't a great fashion fight. It was very messy late on with points being deducted from Isaac Clowe, lots of clinching. Yeah. Anyway, next up then, we, of course, got Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. I've done a review on this fight. Check it out. Yeah, Dave Allen got hard done by. I don't see how. I mean, look, it was a close fight, but I don't see how you give it to Johnny Fisher with the knockdown that Dave Allen scored, though. That's the weird thing, in my opinion. So I think Dave Allen was done very bad here, and it was just, the judges wanting the guy brings in more attention to win, really. It was a shame. Yeah, it's a shame to see Dave Allen's moment taken away from him. I feel like he won the fight. Most people think he won the fight. Dave Allen was very consistent with his right hand. It was always landing from round 5 onwards. It was very consistent with it. I just feel like it was a shame that Dave Allen kind of gave up that 10th round, because that could have been a difference. But, I wouldn't have moaned with a draw. But Johnny Fisher winning the fight after getting dropped as well, when the rounds that Dave Allen won were also very, very, very clear in his favor. Johnny Fisher won the first 4 and the last round. Other than that, the rest of the rounds were very clearly in Dave Allen's favor. 100%. He was landing so much of the bigger shots. He was way more accurate. And he was able to back Johnny Fisher up as well. He's just coming forward nicely, throwing his shots, planted his feet when he threw. He was smart with his moments at times, but at times did get carried away as well, though. At other times he was smart with what he was doing, Dave Allen was. But yeah, Dave Allen won the fight without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. There you go. Disappointing that he didn't get given the decision, but it's what it is. Anyway, next up we got Serhiy Bolshak versus Ishmael Davis. Ishmael Davis gave a decent count to himself, to be fair, but yeah, Serhiy Bolshak winning at the end of round 6. He's just a different level, to be fair. I thought he beat Virgil Ortiz Jr. as well. Serhiy Bolshak. I really wanted to see that Madrimov fight, but fair play to Ishmael Davis for stepping in and giving it a good go. Ishmael Davis boxed well in that first round. Second round, he was boxing well, but then he got caught with a big shot. Then from then on, Serhiy Bolshak was taken over. It's just, I said it in my prediction video as well. Literally every shot that Serhiy Bolshak throws is with intention and it gets to you. And that's basically what happened in that fight. So fair play to Serhiy Bolshak. Good shots landing. He was very accurate with his work. Lead hand feints are very good. They all are from these Ukrainians, those lead hand feints. They're very confusing. But yeah, Bolshak class once again. Good power puncher. Sets up his shots nicely. And Ishmael Davis just didn't have the answers for it at the end because he's a few levels below what Serhiy Bolshak is. So yeah, there we go. Serhiy Bolshak with a big win. There we go. Okay, next up we of course got Moses Atalma versus Dempsey McKean. I thought Moses Atalma would run through Dempsey McKean, but I didn't expect it in the first round. I said the third round Moses Atalma would win. The first round, Moses Atalma, he's one of the biggest up-and-coming stars in boxing. He probably is the biggest up-and-coming star in boxing. He's the next heavyweight champion of the world in a few years, 100%. His angle changes are real. His speed is unreal. Just the way he just was able to get right in there with some real good cheeky shots and be able to get Dempsey McKean out of there that early on. And Dempsey McKean's, thought to be a durable opponent. I thought Atuma would make a statement, but not like that. That was unreal. Honestly, it was unreal. The first knockdown was great. He was able to time his moment well, jumped in there, landed a good hook upstairs with that left hand. He's just so unpredictable as a southpaw as well. And the shot to end the fight was like peach of a punch right on the chin. Absolutely lovely shot that Moses Atama landed to end the fight. On Dempsey McKean, it was absolutely unbelievable, to be completely real. He's just so unpredictable and so quick. He moves like a bloody welterweight most of the time when he's a heavyweight. 19 years old. He's got a massive future ahead of him. What's next for him is a very bloody interesting question. I also don't ever want to see people put Moses Atama and Johnny Fisher in the same sentence ever again. That's safe to say as well. What do you do with Atama next, though? It's so bloody interesting. I love following his career. That's a huge win for him. I'm really happy for him that he also got in the co-main event of Usyk versus Fury as well. Fair play to him. He's doing big things, and I'm glad he got the spot because he's going to be a big name, and the whole of the UK needs to get behind Moses Atama. He's got a good personality as well. Seems like a good fun guy. So, good stuff for Moses Atama there. Great performance. There we go. First round knockout. Then, of course, we get to the main event, Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury. I've already made 2 videos on this fight explaining why Usyk's won. And it's clear to see Usyk won the fight. In my opinion, he won 116 to 113. All 3 judges had it 116 to 112 to Usyk. Fury fanboys are out there screaming robbery, but it's not at all. There were close rounds in there, I'll give you that, but Usyk's the well-deserved winner. Usyk was landing the bigger shots, the more stinging shots. As the fight went on, Usyk found it easier to be able to take the front foot and back Tyson Fury up against the ropes and land some big shots. That looping left hand, left hook that Usyk was landing, I've said it in both my videos that I made on this fight now, was absolutely unreal from Oleksandr Usyk. The accuracy, the pace that it came at was unreal from Usyk. Usyk's jab to the body was good. His straights to the body were good. When Fury was trying to grab Usyk up close, Usyk was there, being able to land some good hooks to the body. Usyk was landing some accurate shots every single time he found them. He's such an accurate puncher, Usyk. He times his moments very nicely. When he sees an opening, he goes for it, and Usyk is consistent with the work he does. Usyk never goes off and admires his work, and that's what Fury does at times. He goes off, admires his work when he does something. Usyk doesn't do that. Usyk's, always on you, always consistent with what he does. He lands some shots to the body, goes up top, lands them, gets out. He's thinking about what he's going to do next. He's such a smart boxer. He's so good at being able to adapt what he's doing. You don't see heavyweights like what Oleksandr Usyk is. You don't. So, yeah, he's ridiculously clever, and, he's just a different level to all these guys of our generation. And, I think Fury is 100% the second best fighter of our generation. 100% he is. Fury was good tonight. He was good. He was able to lean on Usyk at times. But at the end of the day, I thought the ref was decent at being able to split them up at good moments. And when they were up close in the pocket, Usyk was very smart at landing his shots and picking his shots nicely. Usyk was the more accurate puncher all night. The stats speak for themselves. Usyk was able to outland Fury in most of the rounds, and he was the more accurate puncher in most of the rounds as well. So, the stats speak for themselves of who was able to outland who. It was all Oleksandr Usyk outlanding Fury. Who landed the bigger shots? Very clearly for us all to see, it was Oleksandr Usyk. Who was dictating the pace of the majority of the fight? Oleksandr Usyk, even though Tyson did have a bit of his way early on and at times, but the majority of the time, Usyk dictated the pace. Usyk ended up pushing Fury back like he did in the first fight. Every time, you're both kind of tired, Usyk's always fitter than you, and I've said that in the build-up to the fight. Usyk's always fitter than you, and it showed. Usyk was very good in that 10th round, very good in that 11th round. and good in the 12th round. And I just think Usyk's very good at turning the pace on late, and that's what happened in the end. Usyk won the fight, and I thought it was a close fight, but I feel like Usyk was a clear winner in a close fight. That's why I think Usyk was a clear winner in a close fight. You can't be screaming robbery. You're absolutely delusional if you are. I don't see how you can score that to Fury, and I don't see how you had that as a draw. I don't think Fury was accurate enough with his work. Usyk caught so many shots on the gloves. He was able to read the jab of Tyson Fury nicely quite a lot at times. Fury... Fury's straight was good, but Usyk's straight was even better. Usyk's hooks were good. And we're getting to Fury quite a bit at times when he put them upstairs. Fury's hooks to the body were all right, but again, Usyk eventually was able to find a way around that to defend that. And, you weren't seeing Fury get as much of success after he kind of got a reaction out of Usyk to the body. Then Usyk came out landing some good body shots. Usyk was the better man tonight. Simple as that. People need to accept it. Usyk's one of the best to ever do it. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's go Usyk.